Hi, welcome to Gramophone Music Studio YouTube channel. This video will be the quick guide to learning ABRSM Grade 5 Theory, Part 5, Chords. In this video, we only cover about the Grade 5 Music Theory syllabus. Check out this video for the breakdown of each questions, step by step how to solve the questions and answering tips. You can find the link in the description box. Refer to these videos for the technical setup, troubleshooting, exam booking, and requesting refund if you didn't manage to complete the exam due to system issue. You can also find all the links to this video in the description box. For all the previous parts 1 to 4, rhythm, pitch, keys and scales, and intervals, you may also find the link in the description box. Firstly, let's talk about chords. What is a chord? It's made out of 3 notes and is the first, third, and fifth notes of the key which forms the triad. For the chord, the notes can be in any order, not necessarily 1, 3, 5. For grade 5, we cover the chords below, including the tonic, supertonic, subdominant, and dominant chords. Building a chord. Firstly, write down the notes for tonic, supertonic, subdominant, and dominant. For instance, in C major, the tonic will be C, supertonic D, subdominant F, and dominant G. Once you have the notes, build a triad which you add the third and fifth on top, treating the bass note as the first note. In the minor key, a dominant chord contains the leading note of the key is always raised. The leading note must be the third note of the dominant triad. And here are the examples. In D major, we follow the key signature which has F sharp and C sharp. So the tonic chord will be D F sharp A, and supertonic chord E G B, and subdominant chord G B D, and dominant chord A C sharp E. Whereas for D minor, we follow the key signature and also raise the leading note which is the 7th note in the dominant. It's always the middle note of the triad. So tonic chord would be D F A, supertonic chord E G B flat, subdominant chord G B flat D, and dominant chord A C sharp E. We can see that the dominant chords for both major and minor are the same. Now that we know the chords, let's learn about the inversions. A chord contains 3 notes, hence it can be arranged in 3 different orders. For example, in C major, tonic chord C E G. If the lowest note is the first note of the triad, which is root, the inversion will be an A, so we'll call it 1A. As for the next one, E, G, C, the lowest note is the middle note of the triad, which is a third. The inversion will be 1B. And lastly, G, C, E. The lowest note is the last note of the triad, which is the fifth. So we'll call this inversion 1C. The inversion is decided based on the lowest note in the chord. In this example, all these chords are in root position because the lowest note is a C, which is the root, first note of the triad. Next, let's learn how to analyze the chords. First, we have to find out the key, whether it's a major or minor. And we write down the list of chords 1, 2, 4, 5 and their notes. Read the notes in the given chord vertically and which chord do the notes belong to. Check the lowest note of the chord to determine the inversion. Now we'll show you step by step. Firstly, we have to find out the key, whether it's a major or minor. The key is G major in this case. And next, write down the list of chords 1, 2, 4, 5 and their notes. So I have written it down here. And step 3, read the notes in the given chords vertically and which chord do the notes belong to. The highlighted chord notes are G, D, B, G. The notes belong to chord 1, which is the tonic. And lastly, check the lowest note of the chord to determine the inversion. The lowest note is a G, which is the first note of the triad, so the chord is 1A. And now we see a sample questions from the exam format. Refer to our video ABRSM Grade 5 Theory Exam Explained for step-by-step how to solve the questions and answering tips. You also have to learn about cadence. What is cadence? It's a 2 chords progression at the end of phrase. The below cadences are covered in grade 5. Perfect cadence, which is chord 5 to chord 1. Imperfect cadence, chord 1 or 2 or 4 to chord 5. And plagal cadence, 4 to 1. The inversions does not matter in cadence. How to analyze the cadence? The key is usually given. List down the chords 1, 2, 4, and 5. Analyze the two chords that form the cadence, and check which cadence matches the two chords progression. Here is an example. The key is F major and we list down the chords 1, 2, 4, 5 in F major. Analyze the two chords that form the cadence. The two chords are 4A and 1A respectively. Check which cadence matches the chord progression. 4 to 1 is a combination for 𝐏𝐤𝐬𝐬 cadence, so the answer is 𝐏𝐤𝐬𝐬 cadence. And this is the sample question for Grade 5 Theory Exam. Refer to our video ABRSM Grade 5 Theory Exam Explained for step-by-step how to solve the question and answering tips. And here are some sample questions about cadence in the Grade 5 Theory Exam. The learning resources for Grade 5 Theory, you can look at these books: Discovering Music Theory by ABRSM, Music Theory for Young Musicians Grade 5 by Poco Studio, and also the Music Theory Practice Papers by ABRSM. We do provide online music theory lessons too. Contact us at gramophonemusicstudio@gmail.com. Coming soon, our next video will be Part 6, Terms, Signs, and Instruments. Subscribe to our channel so you won't miss our new videos. And thanks for watching. See you next time.